Hello, welcome to this next rather special Halloween installment of GreenStuffWorld's team tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at this rather beastly looking creature, and we're going to look at a very simple fast tabletop finish. You can see here I've got the miniature. It would have been base coated in black and then a rather heavy zenithal highlight from above. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to teach you how to wet blend. This is Sangria Red with a tiny little bit of GreenStuffWorld brush retarder added to slow down the drying time. And we're going to lay down on the Muslin flesh sinew area a block of this. And we're going to focus ourselves into the darkest area. And then we're very quickly going to pick up GreenStuffWorld blushing flesh, again with a tiny little bit of brush retarder added. And you can see there I've overlapped the two colours whilst the Sangria Red is still wet. And simply pulling the brush down, we start to blend the colours together. You'll notice I'm catching all the details there, and I'm pulling the brush down in the same direction all the time. I'll go back and get a tiny bit more of the blushing flesh, make sure that we're starting to build some volumes in this thigh area. And then pulling the layer downwards. There you go, see the colours blending together very easily there. Really fast method to get a tabletop finish really quickly. It's quite a large miniature this, as you can see. Now what I've done there is I've pulled some pale flesh, and again with a tiny bit of brush retarder in there so everything stays nice and workable. And notice I'm pulling the same direction straight through. Right, okay. That's the entire Muslin flesh sinew done. We're moving on to the guts, the real gory bit now for our Halloween special. This is Wonka Violet, GreenStuffWorld Wonka Violet. What we're going to do with these entrails that are hanging out, we're going to very roughly base coat everything so we've got a nice even coat of Wonka Violet on there. And a little bit later on, we're going to come back very simply and we're going to start adding GreenStuffWorld Lollipop Magenta to this Wonka Violet, and we're going to start to highlight the volumes of these kind of intestines and entrails that are hanging out at the front there. You can see how effective that wet blend's been on all the muscle and flesh that surrounds this area. A really simple and fast way. The brush retarder really helps you work that paint quickly. And if you're looking to get a fast tabletop finish, this is just such an easy and simple method. And today we're just showing you the very core base layers that are really going to help you build this guy really quickly. And look at the size of him in my hand there, it's a big model. The next detail on this muscle sinew, we've now got pale flesh with no brush retarder, just thin down with a little bit of water. And what I'm doing here is I'm just catching, you see I'm pulling in that direction down the muscle sinews. I'm catching the very high spots. These can be quite broad strokes because all that beautiful wet blending underneath, you're adding a solid opaque highlight on top of the very proud high spots of those muscle contours. And you're only going to do this in areas where the light would naturally fall down in its brightest capacity on top of the limbs. You do this around the tops of the shoulders and all the other muscle volumes. Right, we've got that done. We're going to move on now to Coyote brown, which is a great base colour for the ribs here. We're going to do this on all the bones that are protruding. And then what we'll do is afterwards, we'll come back later and we'll add some parchment to the Coyote brown to highlight progressively these bone areas and catch all the sharp details. But we're just going to put that base colour in there now. And then really quickly, we're moving on to the horns that are sticking out. This is Genghis Karki. And again, what we'll do is once we've got all the horns blocked in, later on we can come back with adding some parchment to Genghis Karki, and we can really simply highlight everything and make sure that we've got some nice light effects and volumes. Really simple. You can see how fast we're moving through this. We're going to get a tabletop finish really quickly. And as promised, we're back now, mixing maybe 3 to 1, 3 parts Wonka Violet with 1 part GreenStuffWorld Lollipop Magenta, and we're just moving through and leaving the Wonka Violet in the very recesses of these guts and entrails. Now of course, as you start to highlight this, you can then add more Lollipop Magenta for your next stage once this is dry, and keep highlighting. And this will really help these guts stand out at the front here because it's quite a big focal point on the front of the model. Really simple, really fast, really effective.